We have a full agenda tonight, but we're also going to be doing a fun little experiment, which Tank and I have prepared for, which is going to be very interesting. Um, for those of you who have not yet seen it, uh, My Brother is an Idiot, which is our other podcast that this same crew of people does, has now gone live on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So please go out there, find them, like them. At the end of the episode, when Matt drops the socials, we'll have him drop them for everything. And we'll include links in the description here. Tonight, we have a full cast. It is myself, Duchess Bobby, Gold Goon, who is my loving husband, Muad'Dib, also known as King Goon, my brother-in-law, and my other brother-in-law, Tank, the proprietor of Knox Nostalgia Collectibles.
And Frank Cookie Tank.
Yeah, and he makes baked things. So, the goal tonight was to do a don't laugh between Matt and Mark, but it seems like Tank is already losing.
I'm going to lose.
He's lost.
I cracked myself up hard earlier.
Right.
So it has been popping up constantly on my TikTok, all of these don't laugh, really stupid dad joke videos. And I was thinking, who better to tell stupid jokes to than the nerds that know? So Tank and I have both prepared a short list of stories, puns, and or terrible dad jokes, of which we will tell you. And then the goal is to get the brothers that are the idiots on the other podcast to laugh. And whoever laughs the most loses, I guess. But
there are no losers.
Since there are no consequences, it's just we're going to have a short interlude of terrible jokes read to you by Tank and Duchess.
I didn't know how
Not appropriate for this podcast.
inappropriate to get. So,
sidebar, this particular episode is not safe for work. Please don't listen to this around your children. And now, go ahead.
Hey, Matt. What did the leper say to the prostitute?
What did the leper or leopard?
Leper.
Leper. I don't know. What did the leper say to the prostitute?
Just keep the tip.
I can laugh as much as I want.
That's a good one.
I chortled when I heard that one the first time.
Matt, do you have a joke you would like to start with?
So a mushroom walks into a bar, goes up to the bartender. The bartender goes, "Hey, we don't serve your kind here." The mushroom says, "Why not? I'm a fun guy."
I can't tell you how many times I've heard that joke.
I know.
I enjoy the fun guy jokes.
They are good. I've heard them a million times, and so I'm adequately prepared with the defense.
You're inoculated to that one. That one. Was,
Okay.
My antibodies are built up to the fun guy jokes.
Tank, I need you to participate in my first joke.
Okay.
All right? Because I have a really good knock joke, but I need you to start it.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I don't know.
I even knew it was coming, and it was still good.
That's my favorite knock joke.
That's a good one, actually.
Thank you. My grandpa taught me that one.
Oh my!
Who's keeping track of laughs?
Can we give these like grades too? So if we're not laughing, then we're actually, there's some kind of response, less than awkward silence. We'll give them a grade, scale them on A to F. Fractionated.
I don't believe in fractionated grading.
It's regular 10-point system. Dewey Decimal.
All right, Tank, you're up.
Not all of my stuff is jokes. It's just things I thought might make you guys laugh, just so you know. but I am going to start with a joke. My grandma has the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban from the zoo.
I give it a solid B. B minus. This is good. That was funny.
Truth is, I could honestly see your children.
Yeah. I thought of Julia.
All right. So some of these are actually pretty decent jokes, and some of these are so bad that I had to use them. Okay.
Those are the ones that will get me every time.
Yep. Okay. After an unsuccessful harvest, why did the farmer decide to try a career in music?
Why?
Why?
No, I don't know.
Because he had a ton of sick beats.
That one's really bad. I'm glad you prefaced by saying that you've got some really bad jokes because that was.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it passes,
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah.
a solid C minus. It's a C
Mhm.
minus. It's
Mhm.
barely C's get degrees.
Okay. Tank, do you have another one?
What did the banana say to the dog?
What did the banana say to the dog?
to the dog?
Nothing. Bananas can't talk. That was a Scarlet joke.
That's an A minus right there. That's especially the context in there that makes it much better.
Right?
Okay. What is the difference between a well-dressed man on a unicycle and a poorly dressed man on a bicycle?
I don't know. What's the
Yeah.
difference?
Attire.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Solid.
with it. Yeah, Matt, you scoring that one?
Yeah, I'll give that one a B.
Okay, yeah, I'm with it.
Okay.
Give that one a B. I got one. What do you call a girl with no arms, no legs on a swing?
I hate these jokes. They'll get me every single time.
I already got you.
I know. I don't know. What do you call a girl with no arms and no legs on a swing?
Sally. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Not Sally.
I knew it was coming. It still got me. Who's that?
Tank.
I'll go next.
I don't have any, by the way. I did zero research for this. I thought the whole bit of me is just to get me a laugh. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Why is 6 afraid of 7?
Why is
There's
six
like
afraid of
3
seven?
punchlines to this, and I love them all.
yeah, I know.
Because 7 is a registered 6 offender.
Okay.
That's my favorite of that group. Well done.
That's a solid one. Passing grade of A.
So this morning, I was talking to my phone, and Siri said, "Don't call me Shirley." I realized I accidentally left my phone in airplane mode.
I knew it was coming as soon as you said that, but I still give it an A because it's airplane material.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K?
I have no idea.
HDMI.
Oof. That's bad.
I gotta love it.
Who's next? Who'll
I'll
go
go
next?
next.
Carry on, my wayward son.
Baker Mayfield's trash. Damn it! I thought I'd get Mark on that one, just because.
That was well played. I see where you were going.
It's hard to
Normally
laugh
that
at the
would-
truth.
Did you know that 30% of pet owners let their pets sleep in their beds? I tried it once and my goldfish died.
Womp womp. Goldfish, no.
Do you know why melons can't get married?
Why?
Why?
Because they can't elope.
That's so bad. You got her. She
Oh, I
almost spit out her
almost got the spit take.
teeth.
I almost got the spit take.
Almost got the spit take.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so bad.
There you go. How is a push-up bra like a bag of chips?
How is a push-up bra like a bag of chips?
As soon as you open it, you realize it's half empty.
That is shrinkflation in action right there. That's solid. That's solid.
What's the worst thing you could do at a funeral?
I can think of a lot of really bad things you can do at a funeral.
The corpse.
Oh.
Yeah. That's good.
All right, we did say that this episode was not safe for work.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there. Because what do women and noodles have in common? They both wiggle when you eat them.
I was waiting
I
for
like
something about being wet.
Why was the baby strawberry crying?
Why was the baby strawberry crying?
Because its parents were in a jam.
Ooh, that's like Bambi style. Man, that's dead parents.
All right, well, while we're on the topic of dead parents,
Oh boy, here we go.
Yay.
if you give a man a plane ticket, he flies for a day. If you push him out of the plane at 3,000 feet, he'll fly for the rest of his life.
That's a good one. That's solid.
What kind of car does an egg drive?
What?
A Volkswagen.
What kind of car does
Got
Mickey
him.
Mouse drive?
What?
What kind of car does Mickey Mouse drive?
A Mini.
Oh, that's not a car.
That's a good one. What do you get when you cross Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles? Killed in a tunnel.
Jesus.
That's the best one so far.
That's been the best joke all night. Yeah,
that's the best one. That's a good one. You almost got me. You almost got me.
Okay.
Solid overhand claps for that
Okay.
one, Frank.
Yep.
A father tells his son that he was adopted. The son responds, I want to meet my biological parents. Father says, we are your biological parents. Your new ones are here in 20 minutes. Go pack.
Oh, gee.
Oh. Oof. You got Frank with that one.
Yeah, you did. Why can't your hand be 12 inches long?
Why?
Because then it would be a foot.
Why should you never brush your teeth with your left hand?
Because it would be a foot.
Ow. Dick.
Was that the spit shot?
Almost.
Did we get drinks?
We almost got one. We almost got one.
Got me.
I wasn't even trying. Sorry, go ahead. Reread the joke.
Okay, why should you never brush your teeth with your left hand?
Why not?
Because a toothbrush works better.
I think my brain just broke. I think I literally just heard it snap. I only had one rubber band left, and I think it's broken now.
We know.
Okay. What's the difference between anal sex and oral sex?
What?
Oral sex makes your day. Anal makes your whole week.
Oh.
What has 5 toes and isn't your foot?
It's your other foot.
My foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Makes
good.
sense.
That's good. Yeah. That's solid.
Why did the farmer cross the road?
Is that fucking chicken?
Because his dick was stuck in the chicken.
I forgot that I had heard that one before.
What's the difference between a refrigerator and Mark's bunghole?
Oh, God.
Please do tell me.
The refrigerator doesn't shutter when you take your meat out of it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman?
A lot.
None. That's how they
Zero.
killed a lot of them. You have 0. That's the answer.
0. Yeah.
0.
None.
What do bungee jumping and sleeping with a hooker have in common?
What do bungee jumping and sleeping with a hooker have in common?
Yeah. If the rubber breaks, you're pretty much screwed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would be a true statement.
What is the opposite of Christopher Reeves?
Alive?
I know this one.
Christopher Walken.
The spice.
You have to do that.
Oh,
That one will kill me more than anything. It's just that word.
Yep. Spice.
The spice.
The spice. It's on Arrakis. What's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
Snowballs.
Snowballs.
Or no balls.
What is brown and sticky? A stick.
How does Reese eat her cereal?
Who?
How
Reese.
does Reese eat her cereal?
I don't know.
With her spoon?
Oof. Oof.
What do you call a bundle of hay that's in a church? Christian Bale.
Okay. All right. I was going to say holy bale of hay, Batman. So similar-ish.
What do you call a wizard who's really bad at football? Fumble door.
What do Gungans keep things in?
Misa donosa.
Jar Jars.
Oh, Jar Jar.
I was in a job interview the other day, and they asked me if I could perform under pressure. I said no, but I could do a really mean Bohemian Rhapsody.
You know who does the best Bohemian Rhapsody?
The Muppets?
The
The
Muppets.
Muppets. That is our father's walk-off song when he leaves the bar. He plays that song on the jukebox and then leaves everywhere he goes. It is excellent.
What was Luke's secret code name before he got his mechanical hand?
I don't know.
Hand Solo.
Because he only has one hand.
Right.
Solo.
Playing the role of Ben Roethlisberger in the quarterback text thread of 2012 is Mark Hoffman. It's funny because he only has one hand. I miss those.
Let it go obvious man for a second.
Right? Yeah.
What are we thinking here? How are we doing?
All right. So obviously, Mark is the easiest one to make laugh.
Oh, yeah.
We all knew that was going to be the case, though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I laugh. That's what I do.
That's okay.
That's what I do. And let my dog spill my drink all over the place. My house smells like fake rum.
All right. Let's go ahead. Anybody who has one left, do one more, and then we'll call it. Tank?
Yeah, no, I'm good right now.
All right.
The only ones I currently have, I'd rather not say on
I've got
anything
few,
going to the public.
I can think of a few jokes about a certain blind woman that I could say that I am not putting out on these airwaves.
King Goon, anything?
What do you call a Ford Fiesta when it runs out of gas?
I don't know.
A Ford Siesta.
That one was obvious.
Okay, here's my last one.
Okay.
Why is it that if you donate a kidney, people think you're great, but when you donate 5 kidneys, they start calling the police?
Ooh.
All right, and on that
Where
note,
does kidneys come from? That was the "Where's the Kidneys Come From" song.
that was such a good song. Shiza motherfucker! Honey, will you give me a towel?
Jesus Christ.
The McPoffles got the dropsies today.
Good Christ.
Your bitches can't hold on to anything.
The McPoffles can't hold their liquor today.
Yours was a faux liquor. Sorry, that sounded bad. Towel, please.
Why did the squirrel swim on its back?
Why did the squirrel swim on its back?
To keep its nuts dry.
Holy crap.
Okay.
Okay, are we doing a podcast right
Yeah,
now? Is that what
yeah.
we're
Yes.
doing?
So now
Can
we actually have an agenda to talk about things. So I was perusing the interwebs looking for updated stories and things for us to chat about. And I came across an article that Disney has not yet announced, but it is rumored that they're going to be making Tangled into a live action. Now, since we all know that Tangled is Mark's favorite movie because it is the story of Max the horse, I figured that was an interesting perspective, and we should hear from the world's biggest Tangled fan.
Tangled is the best princess story because the princess is not the best part of the story. The princess is like, yeah, her songs are great, and she's got the stupid hair, and her mom's a bitch. But
Her
it's
mom
not
is
her
cool.
actual
It's her
mom.
foster mom that's shit.
But we all know that
Kidnapping, I
the
think we refer to
sidekicks
that.
in that movie are the best. You've got Pascal, who is just cool as a cucumber, changes colors, and he hides, and then you've got Max. How do you bring this to live action? This is I'm not saying that I'm against it, because I think you can really do it really well. I don't know how, but the possibility is there. And before we got on the air, the Duchess mentioned like a Mr. Ed kind of thing. If you gave Max a voice, it would work really well, depending on the voice. Yeah, but not like
Peanut butter on the upper lip?
Yeah, peanut
don't
butter.
give it peanut butter and good, sweet, merciful Christ, we've got another spill.
I'm trying not to use the table because you said it makes noise on the computer.
Anyways, it could be really good because the human characters are kind of interchangeable and whatever. The songs are important, and obviously we all know the story. You'd have to bring back Ray Romano's brother to play the I Have a Dream guy, Brad Garrett. But yeah, I mean that it would be pretty easy to do with the exception of the sidekicks.
Well, there's already a precedent for them doing live action, and it's CGI, right? The Jungle Book was
not
live
with the physical
action.
comedy that is Max.
I mean, did you see the Jungle Book?
Yeah, but not.
Did you
with
see the Lion King?
Comedy.
That was live action, right? So
I get it.
There's a precedent there. They could conceivably pull it off.
Okay, if Max had a voice, who would be his voice?
Oh boy, who would be the voice of Max?
Seth MacFarlane.
He would do a good job, probably.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of the guy who played the snowman, and I can never remember his name, but I love him.
You're thinking Olaf?
Yeah.
Josh Gad.
Josh Gad would be a really good Max.
I could totally see Josh Gad doing that.
I could also see them going like way off base and it being like Robert Downey Jr. if he's going to talk a bunch. And that would be a really good Max because Max is like, super cool and collected.
And that's the thing. Would you go the silly route or would you go the dry route? So
I think Max has dry humor.
Yeah.
His humor is all, it's obviously he's not a speaking character, but it's all physical comedy. It's the fact that he acts so much like a dog, and he literally acts like my dog. And that's what it's so awesome about. Like he just has the mannerisms and, the quick action. And it's going to be really hard to pull it off with that much going on with him. Like one of the things that always kills me every time that movie comes on is when he's hiding behind the rock and he pulls the tree down and it makes it look like he's the fucking horse hiding behind the rock. Like the fucking tree looks like the horse, the way he pulls it down. It makes me laugh out loud every fucking time it's on. And I don't know how you pull that joke off.
I just want to see them do the sword fight with the frying pan.
Oh God, the frying pan and the knife sword fight.
Where the horse has the sword and the dude has the frying pan.
It's so good.
See, I have the unfortunate feeling that you're going to get more of a Mulan situation here.
Where we get Mushu'd?
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
But Mulan has more of a serious connotation just in the story itself. There's a lot more, it's way more serious of a tone because there's a war and stuff.
Well, another reason I say that, though, is because Max, like you said, it's physical comedy.
Yeah. And Mushan, yeah, is very much the same way. You're right.
And like even in that one talks, but in all the other ones, like Jungle Book, Lion King, Little Mermaid, the animals talk in all of those.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So speaking of which, we do have a list of other upcoming Disney live action remakes that are either in production or confirmed. So just kind of going to run through the highlights. We're not going to hit all of them because there's a bunch. Snow White, we've talked about quite a bit. That one's a mess. Lilo and Stitch. Moana is in development. That's supposed to come out June of next year. And they are bringing back most of the original cast as the live action characters. The Aristocats, which is one of my favorite movies, being as that's why I'm called Duchess. So that'll be interesting. Hercules. Now, the thing with Hercules is you get that same situation that you get with Max of Pegasus, but you can't really have Hercules without Pegasus.
Yeah, I think that one's slightly easier. Just because there's not as much random action and facial movement. And Max is, there's all that facial movement.
Yeah.
I just had a really good idea that I said to Matt for Max.
Okay. What is it? Do you feel like sharing with the class?
I do. Terry Crews.
That's a good one.
Terry Crews' Max would be solid.
All right. And then the Black Cauldron is also in the works to potentially become another live action.
That would be really cool.
The rights have been acquired. And so that is one that I feel like does not get enough love. Same thing with Sword in the Stone, which is also on the list. You know,
that one could be really cool.
I hope that they keep the really grumpy Archimedes because I love him.
And you take it like a dark path. Ooh.
It's King Arthur. It's just really young King Arthur.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, but you have
go
all
much darker. You get Excalibur. That's pretty dark.
You know.
You could still be singy-songy and be dark, like a Tim Burton kind of dark.
All right, which leads us into our next category of things for us to talk about. And a bunch of trailers have released since last we all chatted. Originally, I was like, "Oh, hey, look! The trailer for Acolyte is out for Star Wars on Disney Plus, and it looks really good, in my opinion." But then I realized that there are a shit ton of trailers that have dropped recently. So let's go ahead and start with Acolyte. And what do we think?
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks like they're going pretty dark with it, which is what they need to do with it. It needs to be very, I think, emotionally devastating to a certain extent, because that's kind of, if you're going with this follower of the Dark Force kind of story, it needs to be pretty crushing, I think, to make it not feel silly.
Agreed. And the nerd rage is so dumb sometimes.
Yeah.
So, and there's more of that coming up here soon, right? We'll get into that, but here's the thing. People are mad at a trailer and then trying to come up with reasons why the trailer is dumb because of the color of one lightsaber. And then I've seen multiple people try to, well, what if they can't do it this way, they can't do it that way, and that's all just going to be dumb. Dude, just watch the show. Just watch the show. There's no reason to get upset at a trailer because you think you have some ownership in a particular franchise, and just shut up. Just watch the show. It'll be fine, right? In Filoni, we trust.
Right, and you said it right there. Just Dave Filoni and the other guy who's in charge of all these shows, I can't remember. But they do a really good job keeping the integrity of what is canon and what is not canon, and that's important to them. So they're not going to screw with that. They're going to figure out a way to mix this in somehow. And even if they don't, who cares? It's a new story. We need new things. I am so tired of the Hollywood reset, and we need new stories and new lines of succession and new characters. We don't need the same old thing over and over and over again.
So now is probably not a good time to bring up either the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes or the Twisters movie. You just said we don't need the same story or the remakes.
We don't, honestly. Like the Planet of the Apes looks cool, but we've seen this 100 times before. It's the same fucking movie that we've had since Charlton Heston did it in the fucking 1920s. I know it wasn't there. I'm just being silly. But
I was going to say, that's
I get it. I know. I'm being silly. But it's the same movie we've seen over and over again. We don't need this story again. And Twisters is literally the same movie, newer technology. I don't think we need it.
I agree with you more so on Twisters, because that just seems lazy, to be honest, to be rebooting or restarting or whatever they're doing with that franchise.
The first movie was fine. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you what you think about Jurassic Park.
The first movie was fine. We didn't need 800 more.
The second movie was awesome. I liked Lost World.
I mean, they're all fine. we just, it's just rehashing stories. I'm fine with them continuing these stories, but I also just want new material. Like, I'm fine that there's another Planet of the Apes movie coming out. That's fine for if you like that stuff. I don't need it personally. If they want to do that, that's fine. I would just like to see more different stories. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like Planet of the Goldfish. Let's see what happens there.
Wasn't that called Waterworld?
Planet of the Man Bear Pig.
Man Bear Pig.
All right. So other
And let's
trailers-
not forget real quick. Let's not forget that Thrawn wasn't canon until they made him canon. Right.
Right.
So
That was a side story.
yeah, that was a book.
Yeah.
It's Timothy Zahn, for Christ's sake. Come on.
Okay, other trailers that have dropped recently, Fly Me to the Moon, which has Scarlett Johansson and
Magic Mike.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, Magic Mike. Yeah, he's wrong. He's not
No, I
wrong.
didn't say he was. Which is about faking the moon landing.
You missed out an important cast member in this.
Oh, that's true. Please.
Woody Harrelson is in it. That makes it watchable.
I did watch the trailer for this, and I had not heard about this until you sent the trailer link. That looks funny.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's obviously gonna make the conspiracists, open their stupid gaps again, but it looks legitimately funny.
Yeah, I rolled my eyes, but it looks fun.
Yeah. The one, so on our list, we also have Abigail, which is in theaters next week.
Yeah.
It's a vampire movie, supposed to be along the same lines as like Megan, which was the AI doll that came to life and killed everybody that made the little girl cry. But it looked pretty good. Traditional vampire movie, but the main character is a child.
I love a good campy vampire story. I love a good campy vampire story. And I don't really like it when they go full horror, like jump scares and trying to, be really gross and stuff. I just like a good, and this seems like a really good campy vampire story, but told in a different way. It's a little girl who's, just this crazy maniacal vampire, and it looks fun to me. I can't wait to see it.
So
And then
it's not quite let the right one in.
No.
'Cause that was a little kid vampire story. I thought it was
Yeah,
brilliant.
no, it's not quite like that one.
They were great.
and not quite the same like level of elegance that like the Kirsten Dunst character had in what was that, Interview with a Vampire?
Yeah,
Yeah. I think so.
it was.
A couple of sequels that are coming out. We have Inside Out 2, where the main character becomes a teenager, and now she has new emotions such as ennui, anxiety, embarrassment, and envy.
Anxiety
looks
looked
cute.
hilarious.
Yeah, this looks really cute.
I really enjoyed the first Inside Out movie. So I'm looking forward to this one. I will probably not see it in theaters, but it does look good.
This is the story of Frank's life in 10 years.
No, it's not.
10 years, huh?
Story
10
of
years.
Frank's life now.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
was
true.
gonna say.
Yeah,
His 8-year-old is 15.
Sometimes.
on that path.
All
as
right.
we speak.
We got the couple of previews for Beetlejuice, which is fabulous because when they originally announced the movie, it was Beetlejuice 2, and everybody said that they missed out on this opportunity because you have to say his name 3 times. So they've actually picked it up and they're calling it Beetlejuice, which is the right move. We have a lot of the original cast back. And it looks fabulous.
Yeah, I'm actually super interested in seeing this.
Plus, what is it? Jenna Ortega
Yeah.
from Wednesday is Lydia Dietz's daughter.
It makes so much sense.
Mhm. The casting for that seems pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trailer was really good.
And then the other sequel that we saw the trailer for is the follow up for Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and this is
Folie à deux.
there you go, with Lady Gaga as the Harley Quinn character. Now this completely goes opposite from the canon, with the DC comic books, the original Joker, where Harley Quinn was Dr. Quinzel. In this, she is another patient at the Arkham Asylum. But it looks good.
It looks nerve-wracking, which is what makes it interesting.
That's what the first one was. And
Exactly.
and let's be honest, there really truly isn't a canon Joker origin story.
No, there's 3
at least.
Yeah.
Right? And if you could lump even a few more into that if you wanted to, but I really loved the first one. I loved its exploration of mental health and mental health services, and watching this guy crumble just before our very eyes and turning into this character that we all know, and it just his take on it. And I can't wait to see this one either. It looks like it's going to be much of the same vein in terms of the storytelling. I would like to see, and I know we're not going to get it, but I would like to see at least some semblance of a hero, at least a glimpse, but
it's
okay
happening.
if we don't. Yeah, it's okay if we don't, but I would like to see it.
It's not happening.
Yeah, the first Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix is being used in psychology classes in colleges actively. So, having this, coming out shortly, I think is going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I like that it's so different. I know that Harley originally started off actually in the DC comic TV show, not in the books.
Yeah, Batman animated series.
And, has since become this huge major character. And the Lady Gaga Harley Quinn is so different from the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn. It's nice to see that, different perspective.
It's also very Gaga.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of feel to it, which is, I enjoy her aesthetic, so I think it's very cool.
Well, and if it's anything like the first one, like they play with what's real and what's not a lot.
Right. Yeah.
In that
you
movie.
can see that in the trailer.
Yeah. So and in this one, I'm kind of wondering, like, her being a mental patient, I wonder if that's just his perspective of what's happening.
Could be.
It's possible, but the description, like the written description, does say a fellow patient in the hospital. So, I mean, but it could be his perspective, because that's, like Matt was saying, this is all about taking a view at mental health and different perspectives. So,
yeah. And they blur the lines of reality a lot.
Well, yeah. And the relationship for the first movie, that entire thing was not real. None of it happened. The relationship with the one lady. It was just, that was what he was playing in his head because he saw this person and made up a story. So.
All right. While we're on superhero-esque type of movies, Marvel, the MCU is bringing back Fantastic Four, which we have talked about previously, but they have cast the Silver Surfer, and Silver Surfer is a woman.
This looks cool.
It's Julia
Garner.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's playing Shala Bal, I think is her name, which is a different Silver Surfer than what the Norrin Rad Silver Surfer that most comic book readers are used to. Which does kind of make you think, wondering about what, with all the little bits of information they've given and the pictures and stuff that they've provided, this is probably just a different universe. And they're starting with these characters in a different universe that might get brought in or something. because even their skyline for New York is different than the skyline in the rest of the MCU.
Well, and that makes sense, especially since the MCU is really holding on tight to the multiverse.
And we're still kind of blending the line between enhanced and mutants at this point. And they've played around with the other multiverses when we've had hints at the Xavier in the chair and that kind of thing. So they're very good at playing around with that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Cue the nerd rage.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Can't wait.
I had, and Mark, you could probably guess who I had this conversation with, but I had a 30-minute conversation with a dear friend who was incensed that they made the Silver Surfer a woman. And
I can't imagine why that gentleman, who I know who he is, who sometimes jumps on here.
He's currently not watching. He's busy. I texted him already to say, "Hey, we're about to get ready to talk about your favorite thing."
I can only imagine what Triffin had to say about that.
Right. Here's the thing. And again, the ownership in the story that people seem to want to hold on to, it's a fucking fictional character, and who cares? The Silver Surfer was androgynous to begin with. Yeah, it looked kind of like a dude. If you watched the movie, it sounded like a dude. Whatever. Who cares? It's a story. Just roll with it. I saw. If you guys haven't watched Invincible, the new season yet, there's a scene where someone gets really small, jumps in somebody else, and blows them up, right? Or tries to blow them up, and it ends up going horribly. But somebody actually jumped on social media and said, well, that's why they couldn't do the Ant-Man thing, because the Ant-Man, they just showed you why Ant-Man couldn't have done that to Thanos. Like, bro, it's fiction. That doesn't prove anything. It's someone's interpretation of what they think would happen versus your interpretation of what you think would happen. And it's all just an opinion. I don't understand why people get so upset over dumb shit. Just enjoy the story. Have fun.
I know why.
I do too.
Fucking better to do with their goddamn free time.
Well, there's that, and there's a whole other conversation that we really don't want to get into on this podcast.
No, I'm not sticking to that. I'm sticking with that they need something else to do with their time.
Yeah. Well, part of it is it could go along with your Ant-Man thing. We also showed how it does work in The Boys when he split that dude in half.
Right.
Penis first.
Right.
So we know that it works. Yeah.
And when you sneeze, if you're going to go inside of someone else's penis, don't do blow first.
Yeah.
We are aware.
Watch the cocaine use. Yeah. Well, and
this candy when smallerizing yourself to the point where you can jump inside some Jimmy, make sure that you're moderating your nose candy use. This is my PSA. The more you know.
Well, and Silver Surfer is my all-time favorite comic book character, actually. And there's been many iterations of the Silver Surfer. That's kind of the story, is that you get introduced to this person, and then you find out that he's not the first Herald of Galactus. There's been multiple of them. And this is just a variant from the comic books of Silver Surfer. Shia LaBeouf is a person in that universe in the comic books.
They didn't make this up.
No. They're taking an existing character and putting them in a story where they would fit perfectly given the context that we know about the story.
There's no Mandela effect here.
No.
Correct.
All right. So moving on, Heroes, the TV show that was on for a while, where is a save the cheerleader, save the world, and the man in the horn-rimmed glasses. I only watched the first few seasons, but it is getting a reboot.
Oh, Christ.
This is one of the ones where I'm asking why.
Yeah.
Because the first one wasn't good.
It was okay.
Didn't end good. That's for
it wasn't good.
The first couple of seasons were decent.
They're okay.
I like Hayden Panettiere. I think I said her name wrong. Who was the cheerleader.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm a cheerleader, and that was awesome for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know why, but they're going to do a reboot of Heroes. Maybe they'll fix the ending. We'll see.
It's also a fabulous David Bowie song. That's all I got to say about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Tank, you will appreciate this next point. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin comic book series came out a few years ago. There were fights to get these books.
So cool.
Yeah.
Such a neat
They
story.
are amazing, very dark, very gritty, really good comic books. And they are turning this into a film. It is going to be rated R, which it should be, because for those of you who are not familiar with the Last Ronin storyline, Splinter and 3 of the other turtles are killed off. We are not going to tell you which turtle is the Last Ronin in case you have not yet read the comic books, but this is the thing, right? Like, everybody gets killed other than one turtle. And he decides that he is going to get vengeance.
Yeah, it's a vengeance story, like 100% a samurai vengeance story is the whole plot of that series.
It's so cool.
It is amazing. And this makes sense. I'd actually like to see him split it and do 2 because there is a lot of story, especially because they kind of do some time skipping during the course of the series.
I'm sure that they will. Just because you're right. It's so intense and so, just there's so much story to tell.
Yeah.
And world building too.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a natural progression, right? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans are 40 now. Give them a story in that universe that actually appeals to the adult side of them, and it makes a whole lot of sense.
And it's so crazy.
We were talking about this yesterday. You can tell that who grew up with Saturday morning cartoons because the good cartoons are now all for adults, and that wasn't something that was a thing when we were kids.
Well, the cartoons I watched were for adults too. You just didn't know it.
Right. They weren't out now. Yeah.
But it wasn't like Archer.
He had
or
Slowpoke Rodriguez
Or
singing
South
about
Park.
marijuana to kids. It was outstanding.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was
Ren
not
and
like
Stimpy
South
existed.
Park.
Yeah. Way before Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, but like you said though, it's the same kind of progression where like we have adult versions of cartoons. Now we should have adult versions of our cartoon heroes, and that's what we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome.
Like John Wick is a turtle. This is going to be really good.
Basically, and the guy who is helping to write the screenplay and work on everything is the same guy who wrote Boy Kills World and the Chucky Child's Play script.
Have you boys seen? We were talking about this, so I know she hasn't seen it. The trailer for Boy Kills World yet?
Yes.
With Bill
Yes,
Skarsgård.
Yes,
it looks really fucking cool.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fucking fun.
Mm-hmm. It looks a lot of fun.
And it makes me more excited to see the new Crow when it comes out because it's the same guy. So it just made me a little bit more interested to see that version of it because of what he's doing in just the trailer part of this. So it's cool.
And kind of a tangent on this, the Last Ronin thing. They also recently, within the last couple weeks, released a sequel, The Last Ronin 2, called Re-Evolution. And it's about what happens after the events of Last Ronin, and it's doing gangbusters. I think they sold 140,000 copies.
Check with Knox Nostalgia Collectibles so he can get his favorite older sister a copy.
I'll see what I can do. But
Thank you.
But yeah, so they saw what they had in this, and they're kind of continuing with it. So it makes sense that they're turning the first part into a movie already.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna jump real quick to Fallout, the series, which Tank had mentioned is now available. What is it, on Prime?
It is on Prime, and it's the full season.
They released the whole thing? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow.
it's a full season release.
What are your thoughts so far, Tank?
Unfortunately, because I didn't find out about it, I knew it was coming out, but I didn't know it was today until I was on the way into the office, actually. So I will be watching that through today and tonight and tomorrow, probably.
All right, so we will get a recap from Tank on his perspective on that. And now
it looks good.
It looks good.
Dune. The first movie was fabulous. The second movie is making a lot of waves. They have confirmed that the third film will be made. A Dune Messiah is officially happening. And Dune 2 does come to streaming later this month. I'm going to go to Muad'Dib, who is our resident Dune aficionado. Please, sir, give us your thoughts.
Dune Messiah is probably my least favorite of all of the books, to include the post and some of the pre-stuff that Brian did. But I said it when the first Dune came out, it was as close to a source material as anything I'd ever seen. And then if you take that filter and apply it to the second half of Dune, it goes so far off the rails in comparison to where it was in the first half of the movie that it actually made more sense. However, there is one major problem that they're going to have to tackle. At the end of the actual book, when Paul is defeated, and chip and shatter and all that shit, right? And he's got Erlon standing up with him next to the throne, and everyone's worshiping and doing the thing. And Lady Jessica looks at Chani, who's still there. Chani is obviously stunned because she doesn't know what's happening and didn't know that the whole political marriage thing was going to happen. Lady Jessica famously was only Duke Leto's concubine. But she said that
so he could be available for a marriage if he needed to be.
Right. And Lady Jessica says to Chani, and this is a paraphrase, our title might be concubine, but history will remember us as wives because it's going to be a loveless marriage. You get in Dune Messiah then a sneak peek into Paul's children. And the first one passes away. And you get the twins, who then drive the story for the next 2 or 3 books in one way or another. And you thought Dune was weird? Go read God Emperor, because that thing is an acid trip and a half. Talking about melding with sandworms and living for 3,000 years. It's unbelievably weird, but it's awesome all at the same time. But what they're going to have to solve is they're going to have to solve for, at the end of Dune 2, Chani leaves. She's out. She's like, fuck this, I'm out. And she jumps on a sandworm and bails, and presumably headed towards the southern regions of Arrakis, because she's like, nope, I didn't sign up for this God bullshit. I didn't sign up for this prophecy bullshit. I just wanted to be with my man. And she takes off. So they're going to have to solve that. The other thing they're going to have to solve, and this is one of the major departures from the book of Dune 2. Dune 2 takes place in the span of less than 9 months. And we know that because Lady Jessica is pregnant. And in the book Dune, Baron Harkonnen is actually killed by Lady Jessica's daughter, Alia, who was treated to the water of life when Lady Jessica took the water of life, and turns into this weird thing. And it, again, that Dune Messiah, there's a whole other thing there. I don't want to ruin all of it, but it's worth talking about. So we only saw Anna Taylor-Joy in a dream as Alia. And there's more to that story that they need to fix in terms of the overall how they're going to tell and build the entire universe, because there's a whole lot that they have to do in order to get to God Emperor, which I presume they're going to get to as long as they keep making money on these fucking things. But it's hard for Paul to have kids if his concubine leaves, and he's not going to have the kids with Erlon. So what's going to happen here, guys?
I'm sure he'll find a way to get her back, send her flowers, some spice, whatever.
Edible arrangement of spice.
Yeah.
I love the idea of some dude trying to deliver flowers and traveling through the sands.
I'm imagining a parcel by sandworm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like a sandworm with a little brown hat on.
Yeah, like the Beetlejuice cartoon. Remember when they rode the sandworms?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that's exactly what my head. Just put a little UPS hat on him.
Fucking shy halludogram.
Exactly. There you go.
Love it.
The old man of the desert just shows up and starts tap dancing, right? I'm looking forward to it, though. I think it's going to be good. I'm really curious as to how they're going to solve some of that because, like I said, there's stuff down the line that right now doesn't make any sense if you know what's coming, right? It's not like Game of Thrones. They were changing stuff along the way through necessity before they got to, running out of source material. But it's still, you knew what was coming and it kind of was making sense. Right now, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So really curious how they're going to fix it.
All right.
Well, interesting to see. I agree. The new Dune movies stick closer to the source material than anything previously. And I have not read the entire Dune series. I've only read the first couple of books, but very excited to see how that turns out. Like I said, Dune Part 2 will be available on live stream.
It said sometime in the spring.
The 16th of April, I believe, is the actual date.
That's only to rent and buy.
Well, yeah, but
when it actually hits streamer is sometime.
Okay, but you can still watch it while sitting on your sofa.
True.
That is technically streaming.
Yeah. Well, I just meant it's going to be on.
It is not yet on Max or something for free.
Whatever it is, yeah, Discovery or whatever that is.
Just don't cross the streams. Just don't cross.
True.
And now we're going to ask to forget your comment. And Matt, go ahead and drop us some socials.
Oh, I just wanted to bring up I finished the Halo series.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Halo.
Halo finished up. I don't know if you guys watched the rest of it. I really, really enjoyed it, and they have set it up for a long run. They can do a few more seasons of this. They've just tapped into some of the source material, and I like where they're going with the stories. That the changes they've made so far are really interesting, but they're sticking close enough to what happened that you can still see, the major storylines are the same. Just some of the characters are a little bit different and added and subtracted. And it's just a lot of fun. The animation and the cinematography is amazing. The soundscape is unbelievable. Really enjoying the character development. I think it's been fabulous. I think they've done a really good job.
I've really enjoyed what I've been awake for.
Which is about half.
Mark and I were chatting about it via text the other day, and I am of the opinion that I think this is going to close after season 3 because they're moving it along so quickly. I didn't expect until probably the the 5th episode that we were going to see the flood and really get an explanation behind it in terms of how it starts again. There's more to tell in the story, the backstory of the Halo and why it's there and what it does and all of that stuff. But it seems like it's going to come to a very dynamic and critical conclusion at the end of the next season. That's just my guess. I don't think that they can continue to make this series as expensive as it is. I don't think they can do it past season 3. I just don't see them putting up the money for it. That's the only reason why I think they're going to do it, because it seems like they're advancing the story quicker than what we normally would have expected.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically at the start of Halo 1 at this point.
Right.
The game.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where you're at right now. It's different how he got there, but he's there. He's got his side piece. He's ready to roll. And the flood's there. They're hanging out, ready to get unleashed. You're basically right at the start of the playing of the game. It's been a lot of fun.
It's great. It's great. I love it.
It really makes me kind of want to go back and play the old first Halo, just because I really enjoyed the way that game was playable, and there was so much cinematography that like you played hard for like 5 minutes, and then you sat through like 15 minutes of a movie, and that was like the first time that had been done. I mean, to that extent, that was the first time that was presented in that way in a first-person shooter, and it became kind of a standard after that. And it's just been really fun that they've been able to build such a good story with that story, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been my favorite so far of the video game reboot shows.
And the themes of loss, the themes of PTSD. There's definitely there's a embedded commentary about veterans and how they're treated in there. The thing's got multiple levels, and it's very enjoyable beyond the visual and the auditory and just the basic story. There's a lot of different levels to it, which are fun to get into.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It's been a lot of fun.
What the fuck is that?
That would be Lexi Lavender. She is my little purple bat.
It's not a podcast unless Mark throws some sort of stuffy into the camera.
Or a toy of any kind, really.
With limits.
I mean, he got a bunch of new fidget toys in his Easter basket.
I did. I'm actually surprised I got home with them, because Frank's kids had them at one point. And I'm like, oh, I actually made it home with all of them. That's a shock.
I stole them while they were distracted by electronics.
Yeah.
All right. So, Nerds That Know, we go live every month. We're going to have new content. Check us out on all of our various socials. There'll be shorts discussing different things that are coming out. I just released one on TikTok about the Rise of Red, the new Descendants film that is coming out in the next couple of months. For those of you who do not have nibblings in the age bracket, Descendants is such a thing. Tank's daughter even went as Mal from Descendants for her birthday party at her last birthday.
Which was the theme, right? That was the theme of the party.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, full on Descendants thing.
Yeah. The last movie came out in 2019. So it's been a while. I guess the cast had to breathe and mourn. So check out that on TikTok. And Matt, drop the socials.
Make sure you check us out on all of our social channels. You can find Mark's Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok at @PawfulTime. My Twitch and Twitter at @PawfulUpAgus. My TikTok is at King Goon Smoke. We have launched new platforms for the Goon Squad. You can find My Brother's an Idiot on Facebook. It is a public group. Just jump in and like it. You'll search it. You'll see the black and pink logo. You're good to go. You can find My Brother's an Idiot on Instagram. My_brother_is_an_idiot. You can find My Brother's an Idiot on TikTok. My.brother.is.n. Because we ran out of characters and couldn't write idiot.
Because we're idiots.
Because we're idiots.
Because we're idiots. Who named something longer than we can put it on TikTok? But we didn't.
We were actually supposed to simplify all that, and we forgot because we're idiots.
We're idiots. So look for a change there soon. But there is content live on the Facebook page right now. Please go check it out. Drop us a like. Engage with us. There are 3 of us who are on top of all the social channels all the time. So you'll get one of us at any given time. Ask us a question. Ask for something. We'll put something up. We'll respond to your comments on TikTok, on videos. We'll do all the things. Just reach out and say hello. Duchess.
You can find Duchess Bobby on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook as well. You can also find Nerds That Know and I believe My Brother's an Idiot also on YouTube. And you can find Tank at Knox Nostalgia Collectibles, Tank's cookie something.
Frank the Tank's Cookie Bank.
Frank Cookie Bank.
Exactly.
And just look for my idiot brother. Not that's his name, but that's who he is. And you'll find us all on all the socials. We will catch you guys for Nerds That Know next month. But please stay tuned for updates on My Brother's an Idiot. They will be going live on Who Knows What weekly to talk about all of the different sporting things that happen, or bi-weekly, depending on the fact that King Goon is now back in football season as a coach. So we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Remember, walk softly.
Pokers.
Play with your